the chosen one!
Hello Star Wars fans, may the Force be with you. The latest episode 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi has come out, but does it live up to the expectation of Star Wars fans yet? Well, so far so well, it's complicated, so let's dive into the show. The plot. The timeline of Obi-Wan Kenobi series starts from 10 years after the duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan, while basically 10 years after Obi-Wan cruelly amputated Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader. It's technically the aftermath of the Revenge of the Sith. The protagonist, the Jedi Obi-Wan, is on this exile, desperate to make a living working for a butcher's place in Tatooine, while haunted by trauma of the past and the squads of the Inquisitors. Spoiler alert, later on, Princess Leia is introduced halfway through the show. The first episode as the precocious kid and later kidnaps as a bait. So far, based on these two episodes, the show's basically gonna develop around the theme of hide and seek between Obi-Wan and one of the Inquisitors, the third sister, and obviously the incoming duel between washed up Obi-Wan and leveled up Anakin. It's quite disappointing because you basically can condense all this stuff into one episode instead of two 45-minute streamings. There are simply too many fillers and flashbacks regurgitating the leftover of the Revenge of the Sith, immersing the poignancy of the Revenge of the Sith. Yet it's 10 years after this one, so the director overdoes the bleakness. What is also overdone is the portrayal of the key Leia. She might just come across as smart aleck. Second, Disney messed up the right formula. Trying to recapture what ticked the boxes in the old trilogy, The Mandalorian, director Deborah Chow conducts a slow pace ride at the beginning, with scenes of Java, sand and dunes, wild with quick villains, but somehow ruined by an over-serious generic villain coming out with poetic quotes. Which is, well, being poetic and stowing Star Wars is now the new thing. The Rise of Skywalker, the Revenge of Sith, all done that, but all kind of like, flops. But absolutely the very opposite of what most fans want, or what should be done, or what was done in New Hope. Mandalorian, there's nothing wrong with this direction if it's a standalone film, or a film for new viewers. But most watching the show are fans following the saga for years. Let's not forget this is a Star Wars series, now the melodrama. The first two episodes just comes across as uninteresting despite the hype, probably due to the lack of a Vader-like villain except Vader himself. Obviously, Grand Inquisitor just seems generic, over dramatic, yet slightly more threatening than some stormtroopers. Probably it will be served by the presence of Vader in later episodes with his way more scary looks, burning face and breathing technique, but still compared with Mandalorians, Jedi Hunters are a downer for most viewers, though they used to show up in anime Star Wars Rebels. So, the characters. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The theme of the show evolves around Obi-Wan, the essential character in prequels and old trilogy. Might be a charismatic Jedi, but the crux of the problem is Obi-Wan in this timeline just lost the mojo, stand of power over the Force. It comes across as the debilitated soldier with PTSD syndrome rather than a Jedi master in disguise. Other characters. So far the name of the show might work similar to Boba Fett series, which is not so much Boba Fett himself, so it could well be all about Darth Vader, who constantly pops up as the cameos. So far, Leia has kind of stood the show, half of the show at least. In addition, Yoda, the Emperor, may show up at some point. Conclusion. The trajectory of the show could be quite predictable, how Ben as Obi-Wan Kenobi gains some of his power back before he encounters Anakin in Vader's shape and form. It could be very exciting, but if you despite something like a Mandalorian or any of the original Star Wars series, something like the prequel Star Wars, you got to be disappointed. Still, from the standard of modern filmmaking, of series making, is definitely a must watch for anyone loving the franchise.